I'm about to show you how to train the AI in each of your projects inside Content at Scale. Let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to go up here to the top right. I'm inside a test project right now. So whenever you're in your dashboard projects, you choose the project that you want to train the AI in. And then you go to the top right and you hit project settings. As you can see here, I'm in general settings, and then you have post automations, post statuses, call to action, and everything else. But now you see this new dashboard down here. It's called AI training. And if I click that, you can see that it wants training for introductions and then the body content, or the sections of content within the actual article that you're going to write. Now, this is not for an individual article. This is actually to train the AI better on your context and your overall style and tone for the entire project. So every piece of content that you have in this particular project. So as you can see here, it has very clear instructions. Place up to 3 introductions in different blog posts that mirror your preferred style. So you would essentially edit and then copy and paste an introduction here and then save it, but content is required right now. And then you would do that 3 times, and then you would give a little bit of context. First, let me go over how to find a good sample. On the introduction, what you're going to want to do is read either your blogs, and the ones that you feel have strong intros, you might put that content in there, or you might go searching some of your favorite blogs. I have a few examples here. This one is for search engine land, and as you can see, it gets right into the content. Google has started as ever to move sites over. So whatever's in the title is in the first sentence. Very matter of fact, very straight into the content. And then you have an example like HubSpot, and it's very much, talking, starting with a story. But if you're like me, you pulled back the curtain, you're sort of using illustrations and things like that. So it's a little bit more personable and engaging. If that's your style, then you're going to want to look for blogs like that. And then over here, I have an article from fullfocus.co, which is Michael Hyatt's blog. And then you see here, it starts out with a stat. And that's a very common intro tactic as well, to start out with statistics. So that way your audience knows that you are a trustworthy source of information. So that is an intro there. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to find 3 blog posts or 3 examples, either from your site or from across the web in your particular niche. And you're going to add that introduction sample text here. And then I'm going to do that really quick. And then I'm actually going to come back and talk about context. Okay, so I've actually found 3. This is my third one. I'm using Search Engine Land for all 3 of them. And I did want to point out something else. Type of content is also very important. For instance, on your site, if you do a whole bunch of listicles or list item posts, it would be a good idea to look for introductions in list style posts as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire intro. I'm going to go back to Content at Scale. I'm going to hit Edit, and then I'm going to paste and then save. And as you can see, it just bunched all the text up. That's perfectly fine. The AI is just going to read this to learn the tone of voice that you want for your blog. So essentially, in terms of intros, the AI now knows that we want an intro very much like Search Engine Land. So now we're going to talk a little bit about context. So add introduction context here. So essentially, kind of like I did in the beginning, I described the 3 different types of introductions here. I'm going to basically give those type of instructions to the AI. So essentially, a little bit of an edit here. And I'm going to say captivating SEO content that jumps right into the topic at hand without much extra text. And then I'm going to save it. Now, of course, if you always start out with a story, start out with a story that relates to the topic, something like that. Or if you want to start out with a statistic, so you want, fact-based content that has plenty of surrounding your topic, that has plenty of statistics, or at least one statistic, to start. So that it gives you the ability to put in a sample, actually 3 of them, and then you can add context as to why you chose those particular intros, or describe certain things about them, or describe the context that you would like to see in all of your intros. Now, the sections of content. As we know, intros are very important, and they're also very different from sections of body content. Now, let's go ahead and cover these sections of content. So first up, you'll notice that the instructions are to paste up to 3 entire sections of content, the content between the headings of a blog post, not the entire post. So for instance, if I'm looking at this article, this is a lot of text. So for instance, if we're looking at content optimization tools, it's going to suggest SEMrush, Ahrefs, ClearScope, etc. However, if I included this entire article, that might be too much text. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to just take all of the content optimization text, and I'm going to start at the first sentence, and I'm actually going to go down to this section right here, copy, and then I'm going to edit, paste it in there. And then as you can note, it didn't take it all, but it did take quite a bit of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out the half sentence, and I'm going to save. So that gives me the most amount of text that can be in there. And I'm just going to do that 2 more times, and then we'll come back. Now I have all 3 samples in there. There's the long one. Here is a shorter one, and then here is one as well. I do want to let you know that this sample actually had images all the way throughout, right here, as you can see. And I just copied the images as well, and when I pasted it in, it was just the text. So you can do that as well. And in this context section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give very similar context. Explaining the best tools and tactics for SEO and content marketing. Clearly and factually. So that way, make sure that it is accurate. And that's it. So now you want to save for this project only, or you want to do, you want to make it accessible to all projects. Of course, if this project is going to be vastly different than another, you want to make it for this project only. And then when you're done adding all 3 samples for your intro and all 3 samples for your body context or body text, and then also the context for both, you want to hit save. And that's it. You've just trained your AI.